It's Sim, and I'm back with another thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about something that people ask me a lot, and that's what does it actually mean to go for the big dreams? Not the safe, obvious ones. I mean the ones where like you can't really picture the first step, or the ones where the people around you don't quite get what you're doing. And I think I'm in a decent position to talk about this because I've lived it, and I'm still kind of living it. And so far, it's worked out in my favor, and in ways that I didn't even expect. So I could give you the theory version of this, the theoretical things, but I'd rather just tell you what actually happened with my cute little fluffy next to me. So when I was in high school, I had a 4.0 GPA, right? I'm volunteering at animal shelters, I'm a cheer coach, I'm loaded up on AP classes, but I wasn't doing all of that because I'm like naturally some overachiever. I was doing it because I knew college was my path. Not everyone's path, but mine. I decided that. So I had to do what it was going to take, and I did. Senior year, I was in this program called AVID. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. And honestly, the thing that ended up mattering the most wasn't the classes, it was that they made us use a planner. Every day, every class, write down what you need to do, check it off, block your time. I didn't realize it then, but that habit is basically what carried me. Like writing down your goals and actually tracking your time. Like it's not just organization, it's how you hold yourself accountable to the life you say that you want. It's a big part of why people who write their goals down are more likely to actually hit them. I still use a planner religiously, like it's literally sitting right there. And I've noticed that the second I stop using the planner, my whole life starts slipping. Like, it's small, but it's true. And yeah, I think that was pivotal because when it came time to apply to colleges, my AVID teacher gave us 3 vouchers to cover like application fees, and each one was like $60 to $85. I don't know. It added up fast, and they were like, choose the safe options. And I chose 2 safe options, but 2 days before the NYU deadline, I just had this moment of like, man, I want to go to NYU. That's my dream school. And they told me not to apply. And I ended up going to Tisch for theater, which was like a huge program to get into. And I also felt crazy because my counselor told me not to apply because nobody from our school had ever gotten in. So she said, and I'd be wasting my time and I should play it safe. And I just remember thinking like, well, I wrote it down in my planner, so why not me? Why not try? And I applied, and then decision day rolled around, and you could hear people all around the campus, I got in, or I didn't get in, and I got rejected from USC first, so I was like, dang. And then I got into NYU, and I was like, okay, clock it. And that was like the first moment that my relationship to the word no started to shift, because I realized what can actually stop me if I just decide to not be stopped by it. Like, only thing that stops me is me stopping. So I get to NYU, and getting in was one thing, staying in was another. NYU is expensive, right? And at one point, I genuinely thought I was about to drop out. So I'm saying my goodbyes to people, and I told one person in particular goodbye, and because I couldn't afford it anymore. And then through a combination of amazing situations and people showing up for me in ways I could have never expected, I ended up with a full ride scholarship my last 2 years. Another moment where I was like, oh, so a no is not a no. Like, I'm looking at the word no differently. Like, it's not even a redirection necessarily, it's just something to move past. I know where I'm going. I will get there one way or another, even if it's not obvious yet to y'all or myself, but I'm gonna get there. And that's the faith that I had. Like, if you're trying to build something that doesn't exist yet, I think the part that matters is like, for anyone who's watching this, is that you have the dream, right? The most useful thing you can do with a dream is take action towards it. Any action. Because even if it doesn't work, you're closer than you were if you had just done nothing. Just start. Just start and trust that you'll collect some no's, and along the way, you'll also collect some yeses. And it'll all sort itself out way more than you expect. Doors close, other doors open. It works out for you regardless. even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment, you know? And I think one thing I really want to name is that the people around you might not support you immediately. They might not totally get what you're doing because they haven't done it themselves. That's not a knock at them. Everybody, is on their own journey on their own time. But if you're trying to move past the type of boundaries that usually hold people in place, that's going to feel uncomfortable sometimes. Like, it's not supposed to be easy. But for me, it's been so, so incredibly worth it. Everything you see in the world has started as someone's idea. Every building, every piece of art, every single product you use, somebody sat there with an idea that didn't even exist yet and actually decided to build it. That's the whole mental model right there. If it hasn't been done before, people around you might not get it at first because the thought is in your mind. So you have to trust the process anyways. You have to do the work anyways. And let whatever comes from it, come from it. Money, recognition, whatever you're actually after will follow behind it. It will not lead the way, So seeing it clearly is the first step. Believing you can actually do it is the second step. Doing the work is the third step. And somewhere after that, you look up and you're just living in your version of life. Like you're living in this picture that was only living in something that was just a picture in your brain a while back, So the last thing I'll say is try not to let no carry more weight than it deserves. People treat it like a red light, but life only really moves in one direction. Forward! You can't undo the past and you can't skip to the future. All you've got is right now. And someone else's no doesn't actually change what you believe about where you're headed right now. A first no usually just means try again, maybe differently. Say you're pitching something and someone passes. That's not the end of it. Just go back and adjust. Try again with the same person in a different angle. Sometimes that person says yes the second time around. Now you've got a yes where there was a no. You might ask again, maybe they say no a second time. Bro, you got a third chance. Like, go to them again. It's a fair signal to step back and rethink, but in that window between the first and the third no, there's often things that you can workshop. There's things you can improve. You can strengthen your offer. You could be a little persuasive with your goals. Come back with something better. Always come back with something better. So there's this line in physics that energy cannot be created or destroyed, just moved around. However you want to interpret that, right? But if there is enough energy out there for someone to build the very first car from their brain, there's enough energy out there for you to do whatever you're trying to build, whatever you're trying to build, If you've got that pull in you to make something, whatever form that takes for you, I don't think that's random. That is a feeling worth trusting. So go out there and do it. Thanks for watching. If any part of this resonated, I would genuinely like to hear what you're working on right now and how you feel moved, and hopefully this was inspirational. Just drop a comment below, subscribe, like. I'll be here very often, hopefully every day. Let's say I'll be here every day. So, yeah. This is Sim signing out for today. Shout out to Fluffy for being a great little assistant. That's my baby. Fluffy, you have any words to say? She's a genius. I love her. Bye, y'all.